Red is a lucky color.
Do you know how dangerous this is? You'll get whipped up into a frenzy and panda all over.
OMG!
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and Turning Red is the newest animated movie from Pixar and yet another clear winner in the studio's incredible catalogue. It marks the feature-length directorial debut of Domee Shi, who also came up with the story and co-wrote the screenplay. She already won an Oscar for her animated Pixar short Bao. Turning Red would have played wonderfully on the big screen, but unfortunately Disney decided yet again to more or less only release it on their streaming platform Disney+. While I think the decision sucks, the movie isn't at fault. The story or concept of Turning Red can be described in just a few words. A 13-year-old girl named Mei Li turns into a giant red panda whenever she gets too excited. It's a simple, fresh and also pretty wild premise, but it totally works. Some exceptions aside, Pixar usually gets a lot of credit for their ability to come up with these very creative concepts and of course for hitting a lot of emotional beats that more than once turned me into a puddle of tears. Turning Red might not be as emotionally hard-hitting as some of their other films, but this one is just so unapologetically young and beautifully captures the world of this 13-year-old girl and her best friends. The movie is told from the perspective of Mei Li, or simply Mei Mei, who claims to be her own girl, but up to this point she was also the perfect daughter, bringing home only good grades, helping out at her family's temple, and so on. But then puberty kicks in and she literally turns into an animal whenever her newly sparked emotions get the better of her. Turning Red is a coming-of-age fantasy comedy, and Mei Mei turning into a red panda can be seen as several things. Puberty, going through a lot of changes, both physically and mentally, getting your period, getting interested in the opposite sex, or the same sex of course, being overwhelmed by emotions, rebelling against your parents, or just finding out who you really are. Turning into a super cute big red panda is such a lovely idea, and I was also very happy that it's not really spending much time with the whole "she needs to hide it" trope. Turning Red is such a positive and joyful film with a good message. And it's also told from a really fresh perspective, shining a light on the experience of a young girl right at that crucial turning point between childhood and adolescence. In some regards, it certainly reminded me of the Hayao Miyazaki Studio Ghibli classic My Neighbor Totoro, which is of course quite different in tone, but in both films there's a strong fantastical element to depict the struggles and fears of young girls. And also, I thought that the character of Abby, one of Mei Mei's best friends, was very reminiscent of the younger sister Mei in Totoro, from the design to the very wild and childlike behavior. And this again is why I describe this movie as unapologetic, because it really throws us into the everyday reality of these young girls, how their friendship functions, what they are into, just stuff like that. The voice acting in this movie, the designs of the characters, the colors, the movements, facial expressions, just the overall animation, everything is super expressive. Especially the eyes, in which Pixar isn't shying away from getting very comical, being closer to Japanese anime than to their own house style. I absolutely loved how the four girls are designed and brought to life, each one being completely unique, and how they form this friendship. Getting more involved with your peers, getting a little bit detached from your parents, this dynamic is so crucial at this age, and it's one of the story's main conflicts. You have the friendship on one side and on the other this important mother-daughter relationship. And in between, Mei Mei, who has to learn to live with her, turning into a red panda. The movie has a pretty nice structure as well, and a recurring element is the mother trying to look after her daughter, which in the finale is brought to a pretty wild climax. I also loved how there are two important rooftop scenes, one in which Mei Mei is totally panicking and one where she has embraced her new life and found confidence in who she is and what she wants. Without the closing credits, Turning Red has a pretty lean runtime of just 90 minutes, which is perfect for this story. It must also be mentioned that this is actually a period piece, playing 20 years in the past in 2002. I was wondering why director Domee Shi chose to do this, and the easy answer is certainly that it's a very autobiographical film. And in 2002 she was exactly the same age as Mei Mei, and like our protagonist, she was also living in Toronto. And the setting certainly lends itself to the beautiful animation, and it also nicely fits thematically, because our 4 girls are huge fans of a boy band in the vein of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. You get the excitement, the mania that is unleashed at a big pop concert, this unapologetic fandom. It fits perfectly, and there's this pop song Nobody Like You in there that's really encapsulating the early 2000s, and when you see the 4 friends singing it, it's not just pretty funny, but it also functions as a major building block of their bond and as something that Mei separates her from her mother. And fitting to the time period, there's also a nice montage scene in there. And have I already mentioned that the red panda is really incredibly cute? So in German I'd say, Turning Red gelingt es auf super frische, ehrliche und positive Art und Weise, das normale und gleichzeitig wilde Leben eines jungen Mädchens einzufangen. Und das Animationslevel ist echt erstaunlich. I give Turning Red 8 out of 10. It's more like 8.3, but I don't do that.
It's gonna be me.
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Turning Red. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd and also on Patreon, simply at @JimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.